Welcome to Coffee Break with Rachel Vigil, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel Vigil.
Thank goodness it is a Friday, because that means tomorrow is officially game 1 of round 2 for the Denver Nuggets taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I've got a great question, and there's a guest that you guys have probably never actually seen on Coffee Break, and it's going to be probably one of the last times we're going to see him for quite a while. We've got Joey in here. If you do not know Joey, Joey's been a producer for us for quite some time now. He will be doing a new role and hopefully returning back to us at some point. But, Joey, the question of the day is going to be, you're a Nuggets fan.
I am.
You're a basketball fan.
I am.
Is the Nuggets T-Wolves about to be the next big rivalry?
Hopefully. I hope it is. And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, it's a lot of obvious reasons, and then there's a lot of like subtle reasons, just personal reasons for me.
Mm-hmm.
The personal reasons is I was born in Minnesota. All my family's from Minnesota. I'm a diehard Nuggets fan. I would love for this to be one of the biggest rivalries because these teams are both so good, and I've got so many connections to them. But also there's just so many reasons that these teams have every opportunity to be the next biggest rivalry. They have some young stars. Yep. They're some of the most efficient teams. They're both in the top ranks of defense and offense in the net rankings. So it's got everything that it takes. They just need to keep matching up in playoff series, and hopefully they can match up more in conference finals other than first rounds and semis.
Second rounds.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So what about this then? There's also the major connection with Tim Connolly. Tim Connolly built this Nuggets roster. He did the draft for Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. He did the trade for Aaron Gordon. And now look at what he's done with Minnesota. He's going to play such a major factor in this too. We can't forget it. It was almost like the Minnesota Timberwolves have been built to take down the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, yeah, definitely 100%.
Especially like that was in mind, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is the Nugget stopper.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's calling Rui Hachimura the Nugget stopper. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Are they going to win?
It's going to go far. I've got Nuggets in 6.
Yeah.
I think Nuggets will win in 6, but they have everything that it takes to beat the Nuggets.
Everybody I've talked to is like, Nuggets in 5, Nuggets in 6. I'm like, no, this is going to be, I think, Nuggets in 7. Thankfully, they have home court. If they didn't have home court, I would be a little more stressed out. But I'm going Nuggets in 7. I think that this is going to be an absolute beatdown on both teams' parts. And it's because, first of all, Nikola Jokic is going to have to put the entire team on his back. Nikola Jokic is an unselfish player, but I need him to actually be selfish, because the only way, essentially, the Nuggets can match up super well is if you get Rudy Gobert and you can kind of get him off his own mark. And we know that Jokic can beat him.
Oh, yeah. No, Rudy and Jokic is not what I'm scared about. Rudy can't stop Jokic.
And that's the part. You're not scared about that part because Jokic can take him down. But everything else, we should be a little scared about. Jamal Murray getting Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels can do a really good job of being able to stop.
Jaden won't be guarding Jamal Murray.
I think so.
He'll be guarding MPJ.
You think?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on Jamal.
They'll have Mike Conley on Jamal Murray. KCP will be guarding Anthony Edwards. They'll be interchangeable. Jaden will be on MPJ because look at them. They're the same player. They're the same build, I should say. But Jaden is a physical defender that can guard 1 through 5 and that can guard the perimeter and the interior.
But I don't think Mike Conley can defend Jamal Murray as well. And if Jamal gets going,
they'll have to switch. They'll have to have switches.
Yeah.
But they won't. They're just that's the problem there. That's where the downfall for the Timberwolves may happen.
The Nuggets just have too many pieces.
Because that and their height. And Jake Shapiro was talking about it yesterday. Their height and their size is what's going to be the downfall for the Timberwolves, because you have Monte Morris, who is an old Nugget, which we all love. I mean, I love Monte Morris.
I have so much respect for Monte. And
I
actually,
love Monte.
I was an intern over at 9 News, and it was Monte Morris's press conference, like his opening presser. And I was so excited to be there, and he just got drafted and like was so excited. They do the whole balloon thing. And I'm like looking up everything I can figure out about Monte. And I look up and it's his birthday, the day he's getting like announced, and nobody brings it up. And I like look over to the reporter I was with, and I was like, it's his birthday today. Like, make sure you say something. And then the guy ended up saying like, happy birthday, by the way. And he was like, oh, thanks. Like, it's a really special day. And I was like, I did that. I did that on that day. So
I did that. Yeah.
I have a very special connection with Monte, not even just knowing him or anything, but just from that moment alone. I thought that was such a cool moment in my personal career. But Monte's a good player. Like,
he's great.
Let's not take away anything from him. But he's smaller, and that was one of his downfalls with the Nuggets.
I mean, he can come out there in a playoff game and give you 15 off the bench.
Yeah.
He really can. He's a good scorer.
Which, do the Nuggets have anybody like that now?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah.
Reggie?
Peyton Watson. Reggie Jackson.
Oh, jeez. Reggie
Jackson.
Reggie's a little bit of a liability.
No.
Why not? What
Reggie,
has Reggie Jackson done that you're like, damn, Reggie, you've been solid. Besides the Clippers game.
Reggie Jackson. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the Clippers game. Do I have to say the Clippers game? That was
1 out of 82 games.
Well, he comes out there and he's consistent. He's not going to give you, 20 points a game.
No.
But I mean, his averages, he consistently gets good numbers, especially in playoff games. It's not like I'm looking for his averages right now, actually, but I
was going to look him up too.
He's a consistent player who knows his role. He comes off the bench. He's a second KCP if KCP took more shots. He is a shot maker off the bench.
Okay.
So when he comes out, because it's not Christian Brown. It's not Christian Brown, and it shouldn't be Christian Brown. But he comes out and he does exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a scorer. He passes the ball. He gets the offense flowing when Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray aren't out there.
Okay, so he averaged 22.2 minutes per game and averaged 10.2 points per game.
I love that. His
assist is 3.8.
That's amazing.
And he played in every single game.
So now what I'm going to do.
Wow. It's actually impressive.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to look up. Hold on. I'm going to look up the stats of last year. What was it that he averaged? Can you pull those up?
Reggie?
Yeah.
19.9 minutes per game, 7.9 points.
Perfect. So in 28 minutes, he averaged 11.5 points and 3.4 assists. Do you know who that was?
In game 5?
No. This was no. I'm talking averages. I'm talking overall season averages.
On the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.
Bruce Brown.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Brown was averaging.
Michael Porter Jr. has more points than that.
Bruce Brown was averaging almost 30 minutes, 11.5 points, 3.5 assists, and 4 rebounds. So where is the difference there? I mean, we have
you have a very fair point here.
Like it's, I'll go to this season's too because I'm going to take a mental note of those. Reggie Jackson, 22 minutes, 10 points, averaging 2 rebounds, almost 4 assists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's averaging 8
less minutes. So we're not giving Reggie Jackson enough credit.
No, he's not. He's averaging more points than KCP.
Yeah, but KCP is there for defensive purposes.
Yeah.
That's his job. If he can make a 3 or 2, that's like
it's
a
amazing.
A little star.
It's amazing to have a 6-man come out and average more points than a 3-and-D wing like KCP.
Yeah. So maybe I'm not giving Reggie Jackson enough credit.
Reggie Jackson does his job and he does it well. I'm a big fan of Reggie Jackson. In the playoffs, he's not averaging as much. He's not doing as well in the playoffs. But they weren't using him in the Lakers series as much.
No, they didn't. It's been fascinating to see kind of how they've brought in the lineups. Like we saw DeAndre Jordan again for 1 game going out there, but Aaron Gordon was in a little bit of foul trouble. But I thought we were going to see more Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, especially when KCP got hurt in game 5. I thought, okay, Christian Brown's going to come out here for a little bit more time. Peyton Watson is a defensive guy too. I thought he was going to come out here for a little bit more time. And then when they didn't, I was like, why? Why is there not enough trust in both of those guys where it feels like they've earned it? Now go out there and prove that you deserve that time. And so I was interested to see like why they didn't do that.
I don't know. I'm not as big of a fan of Christian Brown being an offensive playmaker.
Agreed. But again, you don't need him. KCP's not the offensive guy.
No,
he's the defensive guy.
Hey, I'll give Christian Brown credit. He plays good defense. So Peyton Watson, impeccable defense.
My point, though, is like, why didn't they, when KCP was clearly injured, he was barely moving around on the court. Why didn't you bring out those 2 guys who they're not offensive weapons, but defensively they're solid
instead of Reggie? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can get that. Reggie, I mean, only averaged 10 minutes in that playoff series. 3 points. 1 assist, 1 rebound, not much. But again, you're getting 10 minutes out there.
Yeah.
Like he's not doing much. He's hitting a 3. He's making a couple shots, not much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see that he doesn't bring the same defensive standard that KCP does and Christian Brown does.
Yep. And Peyton Watson.
Yeah, I
And
think
Peyton
then
Watson
there'd be
drained that 1-3.
Peyton Watson's a
He's
dog.
a stud. He's
He's
so
a
much fun to
stud.
watch. Okay, so you're taking Nuggets in 6. I'm taking Nuggets in 7. Is there anything else that you're really paying attention to that you're like, oh boy, Nuggets, buckle up?
I think it's a good thing for the Nuggets. It sucks for the Timberwolves, but it's a good thing for the Nuggets that they're coaching. Chris Finch isn't going to be on the sidelines, as we know right now.
Yep.
He might not be on the sidelines, but that brings another thing up. Mike Conori is going to be maybe coaching, and he was another Nuggets assistant coach.
Everyone's coming under Michael Malone, which it's great. Like, I love being able to see it. Everyone always talks about David Adelman and like getting different coaching jobs. That's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to coach up these guys to be able to move on and go to other gigs. So it's cool that we're seeing 2 former assistants for the Minnesota Timberwolves essentially moving on from Michael Malone. Like, that's cool to see in the long run. Chris Finch, I feel terrible for him.
Yeah.
Like the fact that literally he got injured a week ago, has surgery. Now he can't be out there. Reports he was supposed to fly in with the team yesterday, did not happen. And so they're thinking he's going to fly today. I haven't heard anything else on that. So we'll see. But yeah, we don't know if he's going to be on the bench, in a suite, in the locker room. Like, the time actually does matter, right? Like, if you're calling a challenge, you have 5 seconds. So for the time that it gets for him to get back into the locker room, if he's in there to be able to call it back, time might be over by that point before you can actually call the challenge or whatever it's going to be. So that will play an interesting role in it.
Definitely.
Oh, the Nuggets. They stress me out just a little bit, but it's because we have high expectations.
Oh, 100%. And you should.
And that was my deal with the confetti after they beat the Lakers. I'm like, this is so premature.
We're
Why are
above
we
that.
doing
We're above that.
what? Thank you. And
We're
everyone was
above
like,
that.
well, you're a party pooper. And I was like, no, I just have high expectations.
There's no party. Bring up the Kobe video.
Yeah, right?
You're up 2-0.
Exactly. I was like, you guys, this is a bit ridiculous.
Job finished?
Yeah, no, not even close.
Job finished?
Actually, it's
Job
going to be
not
harder.
finished.
How about the 76ers going home?
Yeah, as somebody who loves the Knicks, just because New York City,
They're going
it's
home.
good to see that the Knicks are doing well.
I'm Embiid. I just, he shouldn't have won MVP last year.
No,
Excuse me?
sorry.
What?
He was averaging a lot of points and he was carrying his team. However,
What about Nikola Jokic?
Nikola Jokic deserved MVP. Yes. Hold on. I'll get to that. Joel Embiid did not deserve it.
Yeah.
However, I think that if he didn't have another incredible player on his team, I would have felt more comfortable giving it to him. He had James Harden.
Yes.
I don't agree with giving an MVP away to somebody who isn't necessarily the most valuable player on their team. Like, James Harden was amazing on that team.
Yeah.
You can't give an MVP to somebody who has an incredible all-star and James Harden, who was putting up 50-point triple-doubles a couple years ago. Like, you can't give an MVP.
And then there's Nikola Jokic. And
who has no all-stars. He's never played with an all-star.
All-stars, but Jamal Murray, count him any day. I'll take him.
He's an all-star in my heart.
Me too, Joey. Joey, I'm going to be sad. He's moving on from us, like I said, so I'm really bummed. But Trey, we got behind the scenes. Now you guys are going to hear us talk a lot about him. He's going to be a joy to have. But let's talk a little bit about the Colorado Avalanche, because I had some people on Denver Sports Daily earlier today, and they were like, Rachel, how are you feeling about the series, and who do you want to see play the Avs? Of course, we've got Dallas and Vegas tonight, 8 p.m. at Mountain Time puck drop. And I am honestly rolling with the Dallas Stars. And here's why. I was actually listening to an interview by Jesse Montano yesterday, and from Gorilla Sports. Fantastic. Make sure you follow him over on Twitter. He does a wonderful job covering the team. But we go on to say the Dallas Stars have an identity, and the Avs do really well when they know what to plan for. And that is the Dallas Stars. They've got the identity. You know who their star players are going to be. You know what type of hockey they're going to play. Vegas, it just feels like is I wish I could curse on this show sometimes, but you just don't know what you're going to get from them. It feels like sometimes they've got some star players that really pop out there. And obviously they won the cup last year, so they can be an offensive team for sure. And defensively, I do think that they are pretty good, but you just don't know what you're going to get night in and night out. And so I'm kind of torn because I want this game to go 7 no matter what, but I would like to see Dallas come out on top. So this will obviously be, if Dallas wins tonight, 8 p.m., we will probably see a game on Monday night, which will also be a huge bummer because then we've got Nuggets and Avs playing on Monday night, which I don't love. I want to be able to watch both of our teams night in and night out. So I'm hoping that they push it again. Vegas can get the win tonight. And then we have a game 7, which is always so much fun. There is no better game 7 in all of sports than a hockey game 7. I'm sorry, basketball fans, don't hate me for that, but there is no better game than hockey game 7 in the playoffs for sure. So I'm rooting for Vegas, but overall, I'm rooting for Dallas to win, if that makes any sense at all. Again, I just think having the identity and being able to get the Avs a little bit more rest is going to really help them out. And going back to another question that this actually goes back to the Nuggets, I just wanted to touch on it, is injuries. Should we be concerned about Jamal Murray and KCP's injuries? I do not think so at this time that there should be any worries. I think Jamal played really, really well in game 5, despite having the ice on his hamstring and then being out there at practice. Now, I will say this, and nobody seems to be talking about it, is at practice yesterday, he was ready to go. And we just don't know if he actually practiced with the team or if he was just there with support. We don't know that, but it is interesting that he was ready to go for media as soon as they opened up the doors for everybody to walk in. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to play through anything. We heard him post game after the game against the Lakers, and he went on to say, like, I have to be out there for my teammates. They give so much. I need to be able to help them. And that's just the player that Jamal Murray is. So I'm not too worried about the injuries at this point. For the Avs, I'm not worried at all. I feel like they figured out all of the stuff they needed to figure out. They must have had something going on in the locker room. They proved to Georgiev that they had a lot of faith and trust in him, which is great. So now it's just a waiting game to see who they're going to play. So we're rooting for Vegas tonight, but we're rooting for Dallas in the long run if you don't know who you want. But let me know in the comments for sure. And then, of course, there's just like so many storylines with the Vegas and Dallas stuff. Dallas has been within 5 points all regular season of the Avs, so they've been an incredible team. And then it'd be so cool to see the past 2 Stanley Cup winners actually face off, with Vegas winning last year, the Avs winning 2 years ago. So there's tons of good storylines over there as well. And I know denversports.com has plenty of other notes that you should take, just notice of, with Jake Shapiro writing about the Denver Nuggets and Will Peterson writing about the Colorado Avalanche. So that is going to do it for today. It is Friday. I'm about to go finish planning my honeymoon. So I love you guys all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me for just a little bit of time, and huge shout out to Joey as well. And then we will see you guys on Monday. Let's go Nuggets and let's go Golden Knights. Bye, everybody.